Hey guys, I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Marcella.
And we just got back from the movies. We just saw Infinity War.
Wow. Just so you know, beware that this is a spoiler review. So we're going to be talking about everything that happens in this movie. If you did not see Infinity War yet, please don't watch this. You don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah, you don't want to be spoiled on anything. Honestly. Don't watch any
internet. Stay off everything until you go see this movie. Please go see this movie now. Just don't watch this. You don't want to be spoiled.
But know that we loved it. You can know we loved it. It was honestly, I think, the best Marvel movie. And I feel like we say that a lot. Every time I see a Marvel movie, I'm like, yeah, this one was no. This movie was
so incredibly done. And I think something that I was, not really a spoiler, but something that I was worried about going in was that how they were going to balance out showing each character.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of characters in this movie, and each one really does get enough time. And I think that's what I was really worried about. And you don't have to worry about that because it's just it's just really, really well done in that way.
It was honestly we knew that this was our highlight. This was one of the most anticipated movies for us, and I think that it just exceeded all expectations. Honestly, we were just so blown away, and we literally were just gawking in the theater.
All the hype that has been building for this movie,
we were just
worth
to see everything unfold and see so many amazing characters finally come together, and just it was so unbelievable, and it was epic.
Loved it.
It was so action-packed, so epic, and yeah. So obviously, I don't even think we need to say it, but A+, 5 out of 5 stars, 10 out of 10 off this rating scale. It was just honestly one of the it was amazing.
Now we're going to spoilers, so go away. You've been warned.
Go see it.
Go see it.
By the way, the beginning of this movie, this is not your typical Marvel movie in the beginning.
It's really not. No.
The way that they set this whole beginning up, we were just immediately on the edge of our seat. The whole movie we were very stressed out about all of these characters in turmoil. We were very anxious, very
in the beginning it was sitting there, it's you're thinking in the back of your head oh shit.
This,
oh my god,
here.
Oh boy, this is how it's starting, and it really just is it really worried me. I'm nobody is safe. And yeah, it was almost,
we were crying in the beginning of the movie.
So I didn't see that coming at all with Loki. Wow. I mean, I don't think that he's really dead.
Really hope not.
I was very upset. With Loki, he's God. So.
Yeah,
but
I was so upset.
I don't know. I mean,
I love Tom Hiddleston.
I'm kind of I don't know though, because I could definitely see that being permanent, just because it would have so much weight. So much weight and so much impact.
The way he went out too.
Yeah, especially with Thor.
Oh
my god, Thor's face.
Well, in the beginning, I was kind of confused a little bit, because we left Thor and Loki kind of they were on good terms at the end of Thor Ragnarok. So going into this, it was just what the fuck happened? Because it's oh, the children of Thanos, and you see Loki's there, and it was just what is he doing there? And then it was the scene when he was they kind of delayed his death a little bit. They had a big fight with the Hulk. The Hulk comes in.
Oh my gosh, the Hulk's fighting. That was wonderful. I love the line that Loki said. He had said something first of all, he said I'm not Asgardian, and another thing, we have a Hulk.
Yeah.
And the Hulk just bursts in, and that's really, I think, the Hulk really wasn't in this.
No, it was more Bruce. But yeah.
So that was a really cool moment at the beginning with the Hulk.
And then he was gonna Thor was being tortured in front of Loki, and Loki's I can't let that happen. It's my brother. It was just it was really sad. The way his face,
all the acting in that scene was so phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, so I don't know. He might be dead. I think. Yeah. I hope not, but you never know.
I'm hoping he comes in in an unexpected moment in the next movie and just kind of surprises everybody.
So Thor in that scene, he loses his brother and his friend. Oh, that one was a really sad one too. It was just so much death in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I really felt for Thor. I did.
Yeah. It was oh, Avengers Infinity War, and it was just in the theater. It was
fuck.
Oh my god, this movie's going to be the death of me.
Yeah. And it was.
I felt in this movie there wasn't much slow-paced moments. It was very action-packed, and every single interaction was...
Oh yeah, right from the beginning, it was like no setup, like it's just, we were right into it. Like, like it was very quick, and it wasn't boring in that way. Like, even the backstory of like the stones and just like the whole plot of the movie was just given so quickly, and it really got you into it, which is good because there was a lot that happened in this movie.
Yeah, there was a lot that happened, and that's what I mean. Like, this movie really, we just hit the ground running. It just goes, and all the interactions I felt like impacted the story in some way. Like, I really like I really love the relationship with Iron Man and Doctor Strange. That was really, really cool and very well
my gosh,
done.
Yes. How that came full circle from.
We'll go through that ending later, but oh my god. The scene in the beginning, though, when you had them in New York City, and then we had Spider-Man come in, and we love Stanley's cameo as a bus driver.
I love how he tells his friends, like, you need to cause a distraction. And his friends just like, oh my god, we're all gonna die! And he sneaks out the window. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And Stanley, everybody in our theater clapped when Stanley came in.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah.
We loved that whole giant fight scene when we had like the children of Thanos start to come and they were fighting, and they had such amazing lines thrown in there. Like,
so many great
funny.
Lines. So many great lines in this movie in general. I feel like Iron Man especially had really funny lines.
Yeah, yeah. So many characters. Everybody did. I mean, it's a Marvel movie. Everybody has like the best lines. I love the writing.
When he goes up and he's like, Earth is closed today. Then he says, he's like, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizard. He called him the wizard.
Yeah, I love that he was calling Doctor Strange the wizard, but I loved when Spider-Man came in and he was just helping him.
No, what does he say to him? He's like, oh, we're using our made-up names. I'm Spider-Man.
Oh, that was later when he met him.
Yeah, later on, that was really funny.
Yeah, and Tony's like, the kid's seen a lot of movies.
Yeah.
It was so surreal to see all these movies that we've watched come together. It was so
exciting. It really was.
Like, especially with the Guardians. Oh my god.
The Guardians were actually one of my favorite parts of this movie.
I'm so happy. So many people were afraid when the trailer came out that they were going to be like at the very end and then it was going to get...
I was scared that too.
No, they had such a big part of it and I loved it. Oh my god, especially Gamora. But we'll talk a little bit about that later. The Guardians entrance, when the music is playing.
I knew it. I'm like, Guardians are coming. Because as soon as you hear that music, it's like, they're coming,
and
they're coming.
Space. Yeah. It was just so exciting when they were there. And there was so much fun banter between them all. Like,
I thought Teenage Groot was really funny. How he's on his little...
the whole movie, he was on his like,
Game Boy.
And they're like, look up from the screen.
But he had a great moment too later on with the axe.
He did, yeah. But yeah, it was nice having all of them there. And then we get that entrance from Thor when Thor goes like on top of their ship. And they're like, they all freak out, and oh my god, I love this scene with Star-Lord was trying to like imitate Thor. Like,
oh my gosh, those two going back and forth to like dominance was the funniest thing.
Yeah, that was great. And then we learned a lot more about Gamora, and I loved her backstory.
I thought that was really so clever. Yeah, that they threw that in, and
it was such a huge part of the movie, and I love how strong she was that she went with him, and it really gave so much weight to the Guardian story and this movie as well.
It gave so much more depth to Thanos.
I loved that.
I love that
Thanos had a lot of
he wasn't just this like big scary villain who wanted to wipe out the race just because. He actually like truly believed that was the way to do it, and he felt like yeah, you know, we're sacrificing people, but that's the way that, like, this is the way that I feel like it is the right thing to do. And yeah, him and he really did loved Gamora, even though
I know
what happened, but he really did, and you could just tell that he really did love her. Saved her. He saved her, even though he wiped out all of her people. She's alive because of him. I really did. I really like that backstory that we got when we saw like little Gamora when she was really little, and then we had Thanos and there's like this giant war going on their planet in the background, and he like turns her away and he's like, don't look, like he really cared about her. Oh, and I love that's where her weapon came from too. That he gave it to her.
Yeah, it was just a really that whole relationship was so powerful, I thought. And even it was so sad to see how corrupted Thanos was towards her, even though he did love her. He was very corrupted, and I really love that they gave him so much backstory because it made him such an interesting villain. And honestly, I think he is, I mean, I mean, Marvel has amazing villains, like, frequently, especially in Black Panther, but I think that this, like, Thanos he was good where the audience felt stuff for him. Like, we did feel, like, emotions coming from him, and he was understandable in some twisted way, but they also made him terrifying because every time that he was around, I was so scared.
Because I kept waiting. I'm like, somebody's gonna die. I'm like, I'm gonna go.
No, I know.
The whole movie.
Yeah.
And then
he was so scary. Like, I was scared of Thanos. I really was, because he was so powerful and so strong, and he had all of our favorites' lives in his hands at so many times. Gamora's relationship with Star-Lord, he broke my heart.
That scene where she's telling him her backstory pretty much, and she tells him that she knows something that he can't know, and to kill her if it comes to that. I really thought that he was going to be the one to kill her.
We were like, oh my god, we were like, Gamora's definitely going to die at that point.
So it wasn't predictable in that way, because
it was like,
everybody's thinking at that point, okay, he's going to end up having to do that eventually in the movie.
Yeah.
But then once we got to that scene, it ended up being a trap. It was like a trick from Thanos.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, at that point, Thanos wasn't dead, but it was a shock. Like, watching it was like, what? What just happened? And then, yeah, that moment when he would have done it, I think. Like, he was going to do it. And then, obviously, Bubbles came out of it, but...
Well, yeah, he did go to do it,
He did go to do it. And, oh my god, they said they loved each other, and it was just so sad. And then,
I mean, I'm glad, though, the way that it worked out, because I didn't want him to have to do it.
Yeah, he would have been... That would have really been such a blow.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been so awful to see.
Exactly.
Even Gamora's death, I think, is really such a turning point for Star-Lord, like his character, I think.
Especially the way that it was done. He was basically like just dragging her, and it kind of like, remember, like, well, in the beginning of the movie it showed him dragging her off to like the side to kind of like save her, and then this, he's dragging her to essentially her death, but he feels like it's worth it. He does. It was worth it in his eyes.
I love that he was crying when he killed her, though,
because he didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it, and it was like, oh, you have to. It's somebody that you love, that you have to kill, like a soul for a soul, and it
right away it was like, oh, she's going.
Yeah, it was. Oh god. I thought it was really sad how, you know, Thanos killed her for, like, even though, like, he loved her, and essentially Gamora went there in the first place to save somebody that she did love, which was her sister,
which is true. Yeah, it's like that was real love.
Yeah.
And then his love ended up not being enough in the end, because it wasn't. She was not worth it for him. He was more important for him to do what he wanted to do with the stones and saving the human race, or whatever he was thinking he was doing. And to see like that contrasting like relationship and love. Yeah,
it was an interesting dynamic that they put both of those different aspects of love in that way. And it was really sad. We were really upset in the theater. Captain America's entrance!
Cap's entrance was wonderful.
It was really exciting. Like, the music, and he comes out of the shadow, and like, yeah, we saw that in the trailer, but seeing it in the theater, we all started clapping and freaking out. It was just, it was such an exciting moment. It was one of my favorite entrances. My other favorite entrance was Thor later on, but that entrance was... Oh
yeah, Thor's entrance. Like, everybody's entrances in this movie.
Even Black Panther had, like, everybody had
Black Panther's entrance.
Yeah, being back in Wakanda. Like, there were so many amazing moments. I even loved Peter Parker's entrance too. Like, he was on the bus. Like, there were so many amazing scenes really in here, and
Caps. I got really
Caps.
like, yes.
Yeah, it was really exciting to see that, and he goes and he saves Vision and Wanda and all that, and that was really great. And oh my god, Vision and Wanda's relationship was really, really sad.
Yeah.
Poor Vision. Loved what led up to Thor's big entrance at the big battle at the very end. I loved his dynamic with Groot and Rocket. I really called him Rabbit.
He called him Rabbit the whole movie.
That was so funny.
Yeah, I like that.
I really, like, the relationship was so much fun. It was really entertaining. And, like, I cannot rave enough about how, like, surreal it was to see all these people that we love come together in a movie. Like, it was so cool. And I loved seeing that moment with even when he had that emotional moment with Rocket, when he was like mentioning that he lost a brother, and he was like He's like, oh, I'm 1,500 years old. Like, I don't know. There were so many great conversations with him and Rocket.
Yeah. One scene that I really liked with Thor was when he's getting the axe and Groot steps in and makes the handle. But that was really scary because in that moment, like, Thor looked like he was dying.
I was very scared about that.
He looked really bad. It was scary because he was almost, like, literally, like, they're running around trying to find this stupid handle, and he's just dying.
Like,
so,
can somebody please save
That's the only time in the movie, I'm pretty sure, except for later when he's fighting, that Groot put down his Game Boy.
There were 2 times, really.
Yeah. The whole, like, beginning of the movie, though, Groot's just, like, playing with his
He's
toy.
just, like, along for the ride, like, just coming. I know. And, oh my god, Tyrion Lannister was in this. We had Peter Dinklage in this. That was really cool. I didn't know he was going to be in this movie, and so it was interesting to see him with Chris Hemsworth and everybody. Had a lot of really intense moments with Doctor Strange and Iron Man and Spider-Man, like that whole thing.
Doctor Strange was one of my favorites in this movie.
He was amazing. Yeah. He really is so cool. And I loved his power and seeing it with everybody else going up against Thanos. And just so cool. I love Spider-Man too. I love Tom Holland. And
he snuck on the ship with Iron Man.
I know, but I love his relationship with Tony Stark. I think it's so much fun. And it's just such great dialogue. And I loved how he's like telling me, he's like, so there was this time in a movie, and it was just like, helping them. Like, you ever seen the movie Alien? Like, it was just, I think he's so much fun. And and I liked how the ending, it was like, oh yeah, the kid's seen a lot of movies, and that's how they were able to, like, save Doctor Strange to get him out. And then the whole thing that was like, you know, if it comes down to the stone or saving one of you, I'm gonna pick the stone. Oh my god.
Right there, and then we looked at each other and we were like, no. I actually said to you, I was like, nope, he's gonna end up saving one of them.
Yeah. But we didn't expect it to go down the way it went down.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to go down like that. I expected him to just, like, kind of, like, save him. I didn't expect it to be so dire. I really didn't, because he was so set in that moment on being, like, absolutely not. The stone comes first. Which leads me to believe, I mean, we'll go into that. We'll go into, like, what we think about the ending later.
I love the entrance of, we had, like, Star-Lord, Dax, everybody coming in the middle with Spider-Man and Iron Man. Like, I love that. And they were, like, fighting and everything. And, like, they didn't know who the other was. And it was just watching, it was just like, oh my god,
like, no! And then they're kind of like, you're not working for Thanos, what are you talking about? And it was like, you know Thor! And it was like, okay.
And then you had Peter say, he's like, we're the Avengers.
Yeah.
I loved that. Like, he was like, mentioned the Avengers.
I really loved the hug between Bucky and Cap.
That was really nice. It was really nice to see them get reunited.
It was really nice. Bucky didn't have too much screen time though, which I was a little upset about. Bucky was only in it really, like, I want to say like 2 or 3
but
times.
he had really great fight scenes, and I love the scene with when Rocket was there, and he looks at him, he's like, how much for your arm, or how much for your shield? Like, I thought that was really funny.
And then he's like, I'm gonna get that arm.
That was a good one. I like that whole scene, the fight scene with them. I thought that was really cool, and how like he used Rocket, and like that was awesome. That was a great shot.
I love that when he's using Rocket and Rocket's shooting and he's like going around.
That was a great shot.
It was so cool to see Cap and Black Panther together.
Yeah, especially since we know Black Panther now, which was very exciting. Like, it was so exciting being back in Wakanda with everybody.
Like, especially with the music playing again. It was like,
it was really cool.
I like the line, he's like, get this man a shield.
Yeah,
like, yes.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments in this movie was seeing Thor come with the axe and just really badass and like interrupting like the whole battle scene. Like, he comes and it was just like, oh my god, because I didn't know what was going on. I was like, are we even gonna meet up with everybody? Because everybody gonna meet up in this movie? Or I didn't know if that was gonna be more like the next movie. Like, it was like, because we were following so many different plot lines, it was like, how is everything gonna come together? And I love that moment when he came in, and then we had that little reunion with Cap and Thor when he's like, oh, you have a beard too, and it was just like really fun. And then you had Groot go, I am Groot, and then you had I am Steve Rogers.
Oh my god, everybody was dying in our theater. That was amazing.
That line. Yeah. There were so many funny lines in this movie.
I feel like there's so many that we like didn't remember. Like, we didn't get to like talk about. But yeah, there was just, the lines were really, really amazing.
It was so much fun.
That the whole fight on Wakanda was epic.
So
it really
epic.
was, especially all of the monsters breaking through the barrier. And oh gosh.
Yeah, you know, the barrier was there, which was really cool to see, and to see them go through it it was just so epic, honestly. Like,
it was very
everybody together.
Too. It was really suspenseful too, and like nerve-wracking, because as all this is going on, trying to get the friggin' stone out of Vision, and we don't have much time, so they're getting like attacked up there, and oh my gosh, that was like so like, I'm like, oh my god, like hurry up.
Like,
yeah,
we felt very like stressed out. We were very stressed out during this movie, but we were also like really happy and also like sad at some points, especially
it made you feel everything.
And then
it really did.
It really did. Like, it had such a great balance of light and dark moments, I thought, and I really loved it. But at the very end, we literally just stared into like, we just couldn't even, sitting down at the end when the credits came. The music in this movie, like hearing the Avengers theme like so much, was just so exciting, and all the epic moments just made it more exciting. Like the music and the way that the camera, like the film work of it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was like, it exceeded my expectations like so far. Like, wow.
I loved how much Thanos was in this and how much he was with like our group. Like, he was fighting them so often, actually. And
yeah, that's so true.
Like, you know, like they didn't just wait for like the very end to make it like this giant battle. Like, no, there was frequent things going on.
Always
like,
battles going on.
We didn't know when and we knew this was gonna end in a cliffhanger, because we're like, there's a part 2. What are they gonna do? So we're like, every time there was like a big battle sequence, they would like show this. We're like, oh my god, is it gonna end now?
No,
I
kept waiting for a giant death at the end to set up the I was waiting for one like huge death, either for, well, I really thought it was when he stabbed Iron Man. I thought that was really,
I thought that was good.
That was really the death. Really frustrating how they literally they had him right there. They had Thanos. They're holding him. Peter's getting the glove off of him, and Star-Lord just is so overcome with grief.
It was so sad, but that's why it was so understandable, and I just felt so bad for him. You had like Mantis like on top, like it was.
She feels all and it really was interesting now that you mentioned that, because she can feel his emotions, and she's like, he's in so much agony and mourning. And it's interesting because in that moment, that was what Star-Lord's feeling. So they're both feeling this mourning, but it's not really like, it's like you almost don't. It's kind of like annoying, because it's like, Thanos, you killed her. You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have the right to do that. Yeah, but yeah, that was just like, both of them were mourning at the same time, and it was. That whole big scene was like, wow.
That whole big fight scene was insane, honestly. Like, I love the scene though where Star-Lord, he gives Thanos like the middle finger. I thought that was really funny. And I love that they were using like Doctor Strange's like ability, and they were like going back and forth. Like, it was just so cool. And yeah, so it was really frustrating to see that moment where it was like, well, that's happening, and they had Thanos. It's like, no way, like, this is gonna go bad. Like, something's gonna go bad here. Yeah. And the scene when they stabbed Iron Man was, oh my god.
We went into this movie knowing, like, at least not knowing, but
we thought he was gonna die.
Speculating at least that either him or Captain America were gonna die. I don't know why. It was just what we thought.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wasn't really like shocked. I wasn't surprised when he was stabbed, because we kind of like, I feel like I kind of like prepared myself. I prepared myself for it.
Yeah, it was still heartbreaking to see though.
Yeah, but it was a very big surprise when Doctor Strange did that.
Yeah,
and I really do believe that it was for a reason, because he says that it had to be done, or it was the only way. He has a line that alludes to the fact that he knew.
Well, because prior to that, he had said, like, you know, I was just in the future, and I saw
there was 14 million ways it could go wrong, and then there was one way that it could go right. So he knew the way.
I think, I'm telling you, that was a bigger thing right there. Like, he gave him the stone, I think, knowing that in the long run, it's what's going to eventually save them. Yeah. I think they're gonna do something, I think, with time, because at the very end, it showed Captain Marvel's gonna be she's gonna have a part in this.
Oh well, yeah, because we saw like the sending, and then it was like the symbol.
Yeah,
like,
that
the
was
thing on the device on the floor. Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know really how they're gonna do it, honestly, but I do think that Doctor Strange is gonna be a huge part in how we win against Thanos in the next movie. But it was really sad to lose in this one. It really was.
It was, and it was like, I think that's why I feel like everybody's coming out of this movie so shocked and like traumatized, because growing up watching all of these superhero movies, we always win.
We win.
And because this is part 2, we're allowed to lose in part 1, and it's like, wow, like,
yeah, but it's gonna be so rewarding.
Like, losing sucks.
Yeah, when Thanos came, that's when I was I was also really excited at that point too, when Thanos came to get that last stone from Vision, and when he comes in and, you know, we had Cap going up against him. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was another moment that was like...
that moment, I was like, oh no, it's gonna be Cap. It's like, that moment though, like, when he had like the gauntlet like in his hand and he was like pushing up against him. I really think that showed like how powerful Cap was going up against him like that. Like, that was... Oh my God. But
that
of course...
moment, that was another trick though, that moment when you think that we destroyed it because...
Oh, yeah, that was so sad with Vision and Wanda. Their whole storyline was so upsetting. And
that was really sad, but in the end, it didn't even matter because he ended up reversing time anyway.
Yeah. I loved how important Vision was in this movie. Like, he really had such a good storyline, and it was really sad to see him die, obviously. That was another...
Yeah, that's another one that's dead for good.
Yeah, I definitely think Vision is dead for good. Gamora and
Loki, I'm still up in the air about that one.
Yeah, but everybody else, nope. Because
guys, you're not gonna kill, especially because
we just got a Black Panther
especially
movie.
Because one of the people that died was Black Panther. We literally just got that movie. That movie did amazing. Like,
and Spider-Man.
Those two, I refuse to even like think that they're dead for good. No. I really don't. And
don't even get me started on Bucky, because no way did Bucky die either, because I can't handle that either. I can't handle anybody
that's one though could die, but definitely not Spider-Man or
definitely not
Black Panther.
Oh my God, Spider-Man, when we had Peter
that
Parker
moment
turn to ash. That broke my heart. That was the moment when we really were like crying in the theater. Like, that moment killed us, when he falls onto Tony and he's like Mr. Stark, like, I don't want to go, please no. Like, it was just like, stop it. Like,
it made it even worse because only like in that moment Iron Man didn't die. It was just him, and it was just like, oh,
it was so hard to watch that scene. It was hard to see everybody turn to ash. I mean, we were just looking, we were like, what? And then...
No, but the first one was Bucky. So I had thought that was just Bucky, like something happened to Bucky. I'm like, what the fuck happened to Bucky?
Has Bucky been through enough?
And then you realize that something was going on because everybody was happening to.
Exactly.
Almost everybody. So.
Exactly. But yeah, it was just, that's the part where traumatized us, basically. It was like watching this like in slow motion. It was so hard to see. And
it was.
Oh, and that's basically how it ends. And we were not okay.
I mean, again, we do think we do think that it has something. Obviously, Doctor Strange knew what was up in that moment, and I mean, unfortunately, though, he's not around to like help everybody out. But the post-credit scene,
Captain Marvel
did.
Something's gonna happen where we're gonna go. Time, I think, is gonna have something to do with it. I don't know. I would love to know your predictions, honestly, because we were just in the theater like dying at the end.
We literally just sat there for a few minutes.
We were probably I think we were the last ones to leave the theater, because we just sat there and we're just like,
oh my God.
It was just this sad moment of like, what just happened? It was such an epic movie that, like, from start to finish, like, I had chills at so many times, and we laughed so many moments, and just the ending was just made my mind, or like blew our minds, really. We need to go see it again.
I think that's pretty much our thoughts. I feel like we're probably missing some things that we wanted to talk about, because
this movie.
There was so much that happened, and there was so much to talk about, but we tried to talk about everything.
We absolutely loved it, obviously, but now we are very like,
we need to go see it again.
We need to go see it again. Like, I need to watch it again, and now this is what we're all going to be really speculating about for the next year. Thanks, Marvel. Need to hear what you guys have to say. Let us know your predictions, what your favorite parts were. Yeah, let's talk about the movie down in the comments below.
So yeah, if you enjoyed this movie review, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more movie reviews, and we also do reactions and fandom videos.
You can also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat. We are at City of the Feels.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye!